All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash, and double honor to our venerable apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. Yo, wait. All right, it's brother Haran coming back at you with a quick lesson. All right, today we're going to do just a quick video. All right, and Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting to the elect. Now, I'm just basically going to do a walk and talk. And, just as I'm walking, just meditating. Today, I believe, is the 29th. All right, Sunday, September 29th, 2024. The hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. All right, and, as I'm walking, I was just meditating on this whole strike that's coming up on October 1st. Which is on Tuesday, all right, so a few more days from now. And what they're estimating is the kind of effect that it's going to have on the economy, all right? And pretty much when they say economy, all right, what they mean is the everyday American's life, right? How is this going to affect the everyday American's life, especially coming towards this so-called fourth quarter, all right? That's the holiday season. You got, it starts with the satanic celebration of so-called Halloween, all right, and then continues through Thanksgiving, otherwise known as Thanksgiving, and then the so-called Christmas BS that they got going on as well, right? And during those times is when a lot of businesses, all right, make the bulk of their business, their revenue, okay? Because there's a lot more traffic, there's a lot more people coming in, buying things, especially nowadays. It's more like online orders, right? A lot of online orders may be done around this time of the year. So if you for those who work or have worked in a factory or like some type of delivery type of environment, around this time of the year, things pick up. There's more hiring, right? They call it a holiday season. You working a lot more hours, right? So it's because there's so much traffic, around this time of the year. So, just seeing what they're talking about with this whole port situation, I've been thinking about it heavy, and I'm just like, look, this is gonna literally, it's gonna bring this whole thing down. All right, and it's all done by design, because when you look at how in the past, where scriptures tell you in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that though it tarry, wait for it, right? And we've heard, this is not the first time we've heard, essential workers or people who their jobs affect the American consumer directly, talking about they're going to go on strike, or they're going to stop their work, or whatever the case may be. It's not the first time we've heard this, right? So sometimes you might hear it and be like, yeah, we heard this before, we're going to wait and see. But then when you actually start looking at how this, not just this is happening, you got this whole hurricane situation happening, right? That's causing a lot of harm. They said over 4.4 million people, all right, are without power right now as we speak. It was over 40 people already dead. So the news is not really making too big of a deal about it, which makes me believe that that's setting up the tone for when this shit starts going, mainstream. That's just how they're gonna be. They're not gonna cover it or give it the appropriate coverage for other people to know about it, right? But it's all part of the troubles, because the majority of people who are being affected by this, especially down south, is Jake. Because he's seen this coming along from a mile away, so he's already prepared. It's Jake's that's not prepared. They're the ones that are getting caught up in this thing. Yo, slow down. So anyway, in Habakkuk it says, though it tarry, wait for it. So we've been waiting. Though it's been tarrying, we've been waiting. Keep on praying. Every year is a hopeful year of, the end, right? And now, we're actually seeing it. We're actually seeing it, and we're witnessing it, and it's a beautiful thing. For this thing to pop off the way it is, and they always say October surprise, right? So-called October surprise, and typically Esau really go into overdrive with certain things during the month of October, like it's a known thing. Especially when it's an election year. That's a known thing. You know, so we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. All right, slow. So let's read the title. It says, Ports strike would leave Walmart, IKEA, Home Depot with few import options. See? And those are mad people shop at Walmart. All right, a lot of people go shopping at Walmart, especially if you're in the Northeast area, right? I know it's pretty much, you know, you got Costco, you know, BJ's, you know, Sam's Club, which they started closing down a few years ago, so I'm not even sure how many is left. But I know for a fact that there was a couple years ago, they were going down and under, Sam's Club, you know, so you don't really see them too much, right? But Home Depot is still around, right? Which they saying that they're gonna take a huge hit, you know, parts, you know, things like that. They're gonna take a huge hit, man. You know, so let's read a little bit about this, a little bit in this article. Boy, slow down. It says, as the International Longshoremen's Association port workers move closer to a strike at East Coast and Gulf Coast ports, the union is warning that major importers such as LG Electronics, right? So that's holiday season, right? People are gonna be buying TVs, you know what I mean? Black Friday, all these different things. This might definitely be maybe a blackout Friday. You know, Ro could really put that mockery spirit out there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get you niggas now. You know, you so-called black people, I'm finna give you the meanest blackout. You know, blackout Friday. You know. So it says, such as LG Electronics, Walmart, IKEA, hey, this way, Samsung, and Home Depot will find no options to divert trade to Canada or the West Coast as other unions close ranks in support of its labor battle. See? So the whole labor battle thing that's going on is you got the port workers saying that they want to increase, you know, in pay. Hey, slow down. They want an increase in pay, and them owners are like, nah, we ain't giving you that because you're not even worth it like that. You know, we'd rather go in the direction of automation, which is when you have robots pretty much doing a lot of the work, right? They're loading docks. We got you know, those forklifters. Now they got robotic ones that can actually do the job on its own, so they don't really need somebody to man that, right? So that's, if you're a forklifter driver or whatever, that's the job that you're not going to get. Or at least they're saying, we don't need you. You know, why would we pay you, you know, give you, what they say, something about 70% or 80%. Let's go. You know, 70% or 80% of that kind of raise. They're like, yo, nah. we're not even expecting to make 70 to 80% more revenue. If anything, we're about to lose out, you know, to go through that transition. You know, because all this shit is a transition, right? You're gonna see a lot of, you know, things going down, and that's all part of the transition. You know, the port workers not working, that's gonna affect the truckers. That's gonna affect those who depend on the truckers for their business to go on, right? So it's just a chain reaction, right? That's just gonna be nonstop. Because once one kicks off, it just keeps on going, escalating every day. Every day gets worse and worse and worse. Something new, right? There's always something new. You know, the things are bad as it is, and then you add this on top of that. They said it's also going to affect the banks. You know, and this is also going to affect the banks. So it makes sense why, you know, a lot of these banks were closing down a lot of their branches. You know, because what's the point, right? If anything, it's going to cost you even more to keep it open. You know, so yo, come on. So there's a lot of cars out here today. How you doing? Yo, that's what's with them. You know, so there's a lot of things to look forward to. Yo, this way. All right, a lot of things to look forward to, and it's just piling up every day. You got people who can't make rent. You know, jobs ain't really available like they used to be. You know, it's not like you're gonna get a good job that's gonna be paying you high level pay. No, because AI can do most of the work. A lot of these jobs are shifting digital. So they don't need that many people. So unless you got that kind of skill, you can't walk around with a degree no more. Yo, enough. Right? You can't be walking around here with talking about you got a degree. They don't care about that. You know, most of the people applying for the same job you applying for got shit. Sometimes they got 3-4 degrees. You know, wasting goddamn time in school and got no skills. None. You know, real life skills, number one being critical thinking, they ain't got shit. That's why they can't see none of this stuff. They can't put the pieces together. You know, everything sounds like a far-fetched conspiracy theory until it hits their front step. Until they go to the store and they see the grocery stores are empty. Right? And that's what we're reading. The reality is setting in. Okay? So it says, these companies are among the leading importers at the 14 major ports that an ILA strike would impact, according to Import Genius. Okay, so we all gonna go through this. All right, this is the calamities. Because remember, Yahushua talks about in Matthew 24, right? He talks about the signs, right? And all these signs are the beginning of sorrows. We've seen all the signs that the Lord talked about, right? The wars and rumors of wars. Come on. Right? Look what's going on in the Middle East. Look what's going on with Israel, all right? And you know, not even Gaza right now. We're talking about Hezbollah, what they're saying, right? The whole Hamas. They started with Hamas, now we're in Hezbollah, right? But that's just, again, they're just using these proxy armies to wage war against the actual people who are living around that area so they can clear them off the land. That's all they're doing. It's two things. They're establishing themselves as they're establishing themselves as, you know, being on a level, right? We are the Most High's people, and we were attacked, so we have the right to defend ourselves type shit. That's the level they're coming with, right? That's the deceptive spirit that they're coming in with, right? So now they've garnered so much disdain, but people can't really talk too much about it, because then they're going to be looked at as crazy or as anti-Sem. You see? So they've created this illusion, you know, that you can't speak against them and whatever. And they're using that to go about just harming everyone, you know? They're just bombing people left and right. If you look at the video that came out, I believe Friday, where they said Hassan, I think his name is Nasari or something like that, the head of the Hezbollah, they said when you watch the video of how it happened, it was like 3-4 buildings, bro. Boom, 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 explosion everywhere. And they said, oh yeah, he passed away in that. Like, is he the only one who died in that shit? No. They got women, they got children, they got all kinds of stuff. Shit. You know? And that's what this devil is all about. Alright? But all that shit, and then the number two thing, before I forget, the number two thing as to why they're doing all this is also testing out their technology. Okay? Alright, we got this new weapon here, let's test it out. They're using people as test dummies. You know, a lot of these men that you see in these different countries, they be grouped up, talking amongst themselves. Esau come in and and they be talking to themselves like it's a joke. Like, ha ha ha, yo, you see that? Wow, hold on, I thought I got him. Let me see again. And it's like they're playing a video game. And they just shooting like they in the air. Yo, I was like, what the Yo, Esau, man. You know, he's truly blessed with the sword. Alright, that's his thing. He loves using that thing, man. Every form of knowledge he gets, he transforms it into a weapon, into a sword. You know, he'll poison your food. He'll turn into a killing instrument, a sword, right? He'll poison your air that you breathe. He'll poison your water. At every chance he gets, he's trying to poison you. He's trying to take you out. He says, oh, we're going to create technology that you can use. And then he turns around and weaponizes that same technology that he says is good for you to use. You got people getting cancer left and right. You know, like, it's just, this devil got to go. You know, this is us grieving to the Lord. You know, but at the time of grieving, you know, like Yahushua said, the sorrow is really about to take hold of the non-believers and the inhabitants of this place. And the elect are about to receive blessings like never before. You know, that's what Yahushua is about to do. He's about to put his name, all right, all the men, women, and children that be called upon the name of the Lord, truly and sincerely, he's about to show out. you know, because we entered into a time of trouble, right? What did King David say? He said what? Hide not thyself from me in mine affliction, roughly paraphrasing, right? When I call you, answer me speedily. You know, my enemies make a tumult, right? They compass me round about. You know, these are all things that King David will say to the Lord and pray for the Lord to deliver him. And when did the Lord not deliver King David? You know? So if we have faith like David did, then we're going to be good because the Lord came through for him. That's why it's written. So these times that we're about to enter into is not a time for us to doubt, you know, or be afraid. You know, just keep your faith in the Lord. You know, keep your faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and he'll come through. All right, he said his servants shall eat when these people are starving. Okay, so it's just going to be, remember, it's harder for the majority to get what they're normally used to getting, right? The grocery store is going to still be empty, right? But you still going to have connections to a place where you can still get food to eat. You know, where you could, you know, small little sanctuary type vibe where you're going to have people who might know you or might get to know you during them times. And that's going to be your connection to a meal, you know, to feed yourself, your families, right? And they're going to be happy doing it, you know, helping each other out. You know, the Lord's going to come through for us. So, man, we ain't worried. All right, if anything, we're rejoicing. All right, it tells you that in Revelation, the 12th chapter, right? Rejoice, ye heavens, all right, and ye that dwell in them, all right? Going into the woes that's about to be upon the face of the earth for the inhabitants of this earth. Okay, why? Because of their sinful ways, wicked. You know, so it says these companies are among the leading importers at the 14 major ports that an ILA strike would impact, according to Import Genius. Okay, overall, right, between 43% and 49% of all U.S. imports and billions of dollars in monthly trade are at stake as the union moves closer to the October 1st deadline for a new contract, over which talks between the union and ports management broke down in June and have not resumed. All the way in June. And you think all of a sudden now they're just going to come up with something? Well, we'll see, because it's happened before, right? But again, there's too many different things happening at once for Esau to say, let's fix this shit. Nah. You have the people exactly where you want them, divided enough that the next crisis is going to be when they could roll in. You know, all the agendas, they put it out there, UN Pact and all that. They just out here just like, yo, this is it. We in the last home stretch. We just gonna let it all out and get them. You know, remember COP22 when Prince Charles or Prince Philip, one of them, he said they gotta marshal the troops. That's what he said, marshal the troops and get warlike footing. You know, warlike footing, meaning we got to get in gear and start doing what we got to do best. Use our ultimate sword, all right, our military, all right, to get to work, all right, because these people are getting out of hand. You know, the propaganda is not really working like it used to. You know, they're not getting that back in the day where something happens and it goes mainstream and everyone is tuned in and they're like eating it up like a sweet candy. They're not getting that response anymore. Now it's more like everything they put out, it gets debunked quick. And they're like, oh shit. So they start to coin it misinformation, which really misinformation is just Esau's desperate attempt to sway the masses from the truth, right? So if we come out with the truth, they'll label it misinformation because why? It goes against their false narrative. Remember, they're known as the forgers of lies. Okay, forgers of lies. So everything they do has to be done through deception, through secrecy. You're not supposed to know the truth. So anyone who brings out the truth will be deemed a misinformation, propagandist, or conspiracy theorist, or whatever, right? And that's what they do. You know, fact checking. What do you mean fact checking? Right? Fact checking is basically, oh, you bring out the truth. Well, let's find a way to debunk that truth. This is our way of coming back at you. We call that fact check. Esau, man. Damn devil, bro. You know? So they come up with medical misinformation and whatever misinformation they got with all kinds of labels. You know, that's all diversion tactics. Put out labels that makes nobody want to associate with you because of your label, because of how society will look at you. You know? And that's what they do. It's all mind games. All right? But ultimately, remember, the Lord is the one who is in ultimate control of these minds. Okay? The deceived, both the deceived and the deceiver are his. All right? That he works on the minds of the kings. Okay? So, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is in control. So as long as we have faith in him, we're going to be good. That's a given. All right? That's a given. So continuing, it says, so going back, it says they've been in these talks since June, and they have not resumed. Cruise operations at ports would continue. Okay, to stop trade entering the U.S. on such a large scale, even for a short period of time, is highly damaging to the what? To the economy. So government intervention will be needed to bring the matter to a resolution for the good of the nation. Warned Peter Sand, chief shipping analyst at Zenita. Now, what does that mean? He's basically letting the people know, if this shit goes down, it's because your government made it go down. Because they could have stepped in and all this would have been stopped. But if they don't step in and they allow this to go on, to even start, not to drag on, but to even start, it's game over. This economy is done. And who's going to suffer the most? It's the so-called black and brown communities. Again, Jacob's trouble. You've had all year. And what are the niggas doing? Fucking around. They're getting worse and worse and worse. Degenerate as all hell. You know, this is the most, this year, 2024, is the most I've ever seen niggas in the world coming directly against the men of the Lord and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua this way. Like, they doing videos like, it's like a mockery. I've never seen no shit like that before. You know, most of the time, Jake wasn't really talking about us like that. They knew about us, but they didn't really talk about us like that. And then after the Kyrie, Kanye situation, you know, now, and they got IUIC in the mix and all that. They got a lot of people, like, knowing about it and thinking about it and, you know, let's go. And to the point where they making a mockery. You got some chick talking about, oh, I know I'm in the East Coast when I see Hebrew Israelites in the street corners or whatever. Like, that stupid bitch. You know? But it's just like Yahushua said, you know, if we were of the world would have loved us. You know, they would have received us. They would have loved us. But we're not of the world. We're of Yahushua. You know, remember this world, as the Apostle John said in John, 1 John, I believe 5, the 5th chapter, he said what? He said that what? The whole world lieth in wickedness. All right? We know that we are of the Most High and that the whole world lieth in wickedness. All right? So we're not really concerned with what these people are going to go through. We're just concerned with how the Lord is going to deliver us. You know, in the time of our affliction. How is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua going to deliver us? Hey, some of us going to get spiritual power, right? You got these guys, these reprobates. I was just seeing a video of these reprobates from Boston. Yo, easy. These wait. There we go.
Thank you.
Yep. These reprobates from Boston did a video, and hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is our judge, so we ain't worried.
Beautiful.
Right? We ain't worried, right? They were doing a video, and it was more like a very disrespectful way to speak, you know, to somebody who's been laboring in this truth, serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for all these years. You know, they were talking down, or I guess, not even talking down, they were just outright just disrespectful, right, towards the older Apostle Kabar. You know, and, you know, so that's something I've said in past times that, you know, we grew up in an era where respect was commanded. You know, you just got to have respect. You know, as a young Israelite man, you know, having respect for your elders is something that we were taught from our youth, from a child. You know, there's certain manners and decorum that you have to have as a man. you know. And I've noticed, right, in this truth that most men who come in and serve the Lord, but they don't have that respect or that sincere, genuine understanding of the order of things, the Lord weeds them out. You know, it's just a matter of time. The Lord will always weed them out. You know, but order is very, very important. And just watching the video, basically the joke that they were cracking, I guess, as a joke, right, was that Apostle Gabar did a video going into the second covenant, and that if you're in the second covenant, then can you fly? Right, which we all understood what he meant, but I guess they didn't understand it. So they're like, oh, they're joking around like he's talking about he gonna fly, like, yo, they think this like Marvel characters and shit. I said, well, so all these years you guys were out there teaching this truth, and I'm sure you brought those precepts out. Isaiah 59, right? Let me get the other one real quick. This precept right here that we always talk about. You know, you got the beautiful brother Menachizak Banyamyan. He be doing these videos, these animated videos and stuff, and it's like, yo, those things get you pumped up. You got the precepts reading in the back, right? Got the voice. Sometimes you use brothers, elders, you know, and you get that energy, like, yo, that's heavy, you know. So all these years, all that stuff was happening. You guys didn't believe it. You don't believe that the Lord is going to be able to actually give us spiritual power that we could fly. Some of us, when we were kids, we used to always say that. Yo, I want superpowers. We used to call that all the time. Yo, I want superpowers. I want to be able to fly. Yo, imagine flying. We used to say that. You know, and remember, children are very, very they got a blank disc mind, so it's very wide, it's open. There's no limitation. You know, and that's why children are very sincere and honest. You know, because they don't understand the social norms of this deceptive world that we live in. So they come straight from the spirit world. So to them, flying is like, yeah, that's the norm. Shit, I'm surprised you guys can't fly. Like, what's wrong with you? You know, you tell a kid to jump from the top of a roof, and that you're gonna catch him. He's gonna have faith that you're gonna do it, and he's gonna jump, not worried about a goddamn thing. You know, because he knows that you're gonna what? You're gonna catch him. You know, so children have that spirit, and me and my brother, we used to say that all the time. When we were kids, all the time. Be like, yo, man, yo, imagine, yo, we're gonna have superpowers. You know, we used to try all kinds of shit. We would go up, sit up on the top of what the fuck is wrong with you? We go sit up on the top of a side of the building, and we look down and be like, yo, imagine you jump down and then you got superpowers, you just fly off, like, all the time. You know, and we believe that, yo, we could do it. You know, but we just didn't want to try it. You know, but we believed it. You know, we always say, oh, hey, one day, man, we're gonna fly. You know, you got superpower, you got super speed. Yo, he could attest to that, right? You got super speed. You know, you could disappear, reappear. Why were we thinking all that? We weren't kids that used to watch TV like that anyway. So it's not like, oh, you watching Marvel, so now you think you Marvel. No, we just had it within, like, yo, we could do that. Like, that's something we can actually do. You know, so coming into this truth and hearing about it in the scriptures, I was like, oh shit, like, remember, I was like, yo, remember we used to say this when we were kids? Yeah. Then it's like, oh shit, it's confirmed. You know, so we believe that. You know, let's see. Let's get that in Isaiah 40 real quick. Here's the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 28. Actually, start from verse 26. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold who hath created these things, that bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might. For that he is strong in power, not one faileth. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest, O Israel, my way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from my power? Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting power, the Lord Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth,
fainteth not, neither is weary, there is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Check this out. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. So tell me, what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? What does that mean? That's a prophecy that we believe is going to happen. That the Lord's going to give us spiritual power. We're going to be able to run super fast. We're going to be able to take flight. We're going to be able to appear and disappear. Brothers have had dreams and visions about these things for like many, many countless times. You know, like having spiritual power. Whatever it is, however it's going to come, we always have that in our minds that it's going to happen. And some of us are actually going to have that spiritual power to glorify the name of the Lord, man. And Esau knows that. So Esau knows that. He studies up on all these things. He does movies on it. Look at Supercell. That's an example, right? And why they using Jake? Why they not using like we're used to seeing? Why they not using so-called white people, Edomites? They're using Jake because the realization is setting in. Let's go. That yeah, these people are superhuman people, and whatever they're saying from the Bible, it applies to them, and it's going to happen. They've seen instances that to them is just abnormal. You know, man, this guy has super strength. They watch how athletes perform, and they're like, these people are built with a different genetic code. Like, they're just different. The things they can do, we can't do. You know? So Esau already knows that the power is within. All right, and when the Lord says it's go time, he's going to unlock it. All right, he's going to unlock it for his elect men. You know, and we're entering into those times. All right, so it says, going back to the article, and again, that closes that whole case with those reprobates out there, man. I didn't even want to even say nothing about it, but sometimes the spirit just jumps on you. You just gotta utter the words. That's all you gotta do. Just utter the words. You know. But these last days, you're gonna see these things. So it's crazy to me though. It's like, yo, the fuck? It's like, just go ahead and teach the word. You know, there's always this combative spirit of, you know, oh, I got kicked out, so now my job is to just keep coming against my elders that taught me everything that I know. Like, that's just not honorable, bro. You know, if you don't like your teachers, right, your spiritual fathers, so to speak, if you don't like that order that the Lord set up, then yo, you free to do your own thing, but just to keep coming back and like, it's just like every time you do a video on them, it's like it gets worse and worse. It's just nasty work, bro. You know, nasty work. And humility is a key when it comes to serving the Lord. You know, is very key. You know, being humble. You know, even to people in the world, they'll say it. Sometimes you'll be like, oh wow, you're so humble. Da, da, da. It's like, oh shit. You know, especially people that come from different countries. But most people, even from here, they notice us like, oh, these people are different. You know, when brothers get together, how we operate, how we move, you know, we got to move in order. You know, and yeah, them reprobates is the reason why the Lord kicked them up out of there. You know, you see what's going on with the Mississippi dudes. They've been out of there and ain't no videos pumping yet. the well completely dried out. Just like the Spirit told months ago that was going to happen. You know, apostles were going into it like, oh, these guys going to wither out. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Let's go. You know, so continuing back in the article, it says a strike lasting just 1 week will impact schedules for ships leaving the Far East on voyages to the U.S. in late December and throughout January. It starts in October. It says it's going to roll all the way into January. It's game over. Yo, focus. Let's go. It's game over, man. You know? It says, while some logistics managers say Canada and the West Coast are options for vessels to divert to and unload cargo, that's going to be extra because now the consumers got to pay more to get these things over down here. You know? So then the truck driver's gonna be tight. Now they're, oh, yo, now we gotta drive all the way to Canada. It used to be just going from Virginia to New York. Now I gotta go up to Canada, do the whole border shit, and then come back. And then now what if something happens where the only truck drivers that are able to go across the border to go get you your produce, something happens and there's a mandate and now they can't do their job. Now what? Right? Focus. 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 You know, now what? You see how this is all playing out? Not to mention the whole election thing that's coming up, right? The Egyptian against the Egyptian, that's also balling up, you know? So continuing, it says, the ILA is North America's largest longshoremen union. Out of the 85,000 members, 50,000 would go on strike at the 14 ports that are subject to a master contract that has not been negotiated. Wow. So I mean, you're still gonna have people working. So it's not the whole entire system going down, as it's saying here. So it's gonna be left with what, 35,000 people that's gonna be left working. So that's more pressure on them. So shipment is gonna be getting through. Some places not gonna get it at all because they don't have the manpower to get it there. And some places gonna get it, but it's gonna be slow. It's gonna take time for you to get it. You know? So continuing, it says, man, this is gonna affect everything. 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 Because America depends on what they call on time delivery system. Right? On time delivery system. So like they deliver at a certain time during the day or during the week or whatever the case may be. You know, boy, let's go. Come on. Let's go. So that's going to affect everyone. That's going to affect everything. All right? Everything that you use or you're used to, right? It's going to be affected by this because they all they don't just have a factory where you can just go. Not everything is imported. Everything is brought over. You know? So continuing, it says, you can be sure the ILA's 85,000 members will be supporting their sisters and brothers, said James McNamara, spokesperson or spokesman for the ILU. It says separately, the Port of Montreal Union, affiliated with the Canadian Union of Public Employees, issued a 72-hour notice that its own 3-day strike starts on Monday, September 30th. So they're getting it earlier than America. You know, they're also going on strike. Ain't that some shit? And it says that it's Maya Ginter, director of North American Ocean Shipping at C.H. Robinson, tells CNBC this strike could exacerbate the U.S. port strike disruption. You're hearing that? Come on. All this stuff happening all like that at once? And this is happening during what they about to do, flu season? The fall, right? The fall. We're already in the fall. September 21st begins the season of the fall. You know, you're starting to see the trees changing colors. You know? So we're in that time. And normally October is when they have their games. October surprise. You know? It's coming. That's why you have all these distractions. You know? That's why you have all these distractions. You got the Diddy distraction. You got all kinds of stuff going on. Just distractions. Mayor Adams, he's getting caught up in things. You know? Distraction after distraction everywhere you go. You know? It says, with Canada being a main contingency route, an overlapping strike at the Port of Montreal, even with some terminals remaining operational, will significantly weaken this as a contingency route, she said. Wow. So even your emergency, or your, in this case, contingency, right? Meaning in a state of crisis, the thing that comes in to help out, to hold things up a little bit, right? It's a plan. It's a second way out, a backup plan, contingency plan. It's basically a backup plan. So your backup plan is not going to work. All right, we would have healed Babylon. They're trying to help, but she would not be healed. If anything, the more you try to help, the more it exacerbates the problem. Like it says, you know, the more they try to heal themselves, the worse things get. It's over with. You know, she already got that incurable disease, and now it's eating her up. You know, that curse the Lord gave her is starting to show. It's eating her up. And then once it's done its job completely, she's going to be burnt up. Like the whore that she is, right? So continuing, it says, additionally, Ginter noted that Hurricane Helene's impact on the U.S. Southeast means fewer trucks. Oh, shit. Fewer trucks are heading to those ports, which could affect importers trying to move their freight out before an ILA strike begins. So they're on rush mode. You know, they're rushing the situation now because they don't have much time. Revelation 12 and 12. Okay? This sounds crazy. You know? It says the last time the ILA went on strike in 1977, the ILWU union at West Coast Ports supported it by allowing the ILA members to go to the port of Los Angeles to stop the unloading of a diverted vessel. Its president, Harold Daggett, has cited its historical example in recent communications with rank and file members, which voted unanimously to authorize a strike. Quote, "We'll shut them down," Daggett said in a recent video message to union members. End quote. Import Genius compiled the bills of lading for 2024, or lading for 2024. The digital receipts. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. The digital receipts of the containers, which has shipper and product information at the ports of New York/Jersey, Baltimore, Savannah, Houston, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and New Orleans. Right? So these places are going to be heavily impacted based on what's happening right now and what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. You think of, again, the economy as it is right now. Oh. Easy. You know, you think of the economy as it is now. Look, this shit is done. All right. This shit is done and over with. All right. This shit is done and over with. Okay. And we're going to see how it's also going to play a role on the stock market. Let's not forget that too. You know, it's going to play a role in the stock market. You know, could we see another CrowdStrike event? Right? Could we see something like that coming up very soon? Like the Cyber Polygon has been touting for a while now, and what it's going to do. Right? Think of the state in which America is in now. What's today? 29th, right? September 29th. What's that? Sunday, September 29th. Think of what state this place is in now. And then in about a month from today, October 29th, 2024, we're going to come back and we're going to see how things are. You know, we're going to see. All right? So, hey, how about Shemiah shall I continue to put those plagues out here? All right, like it says in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right, the Lord talks about the plagues. Okay? But before I go into the plagues, let's get this real quick. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, so we're in the time right now. The UN is talking about that peace and security pact, right? The UN pact of the future, whatever, right? That's all going into like nations coming together to have themselves, you know, a part of this so-called New World Order. You know, the security of being part of the New World Order, you know, for your nations and so on and so forth. Your money system is going to change, your lifestyle is going to change. Implementing this new age lifestyle into your countries. You know, that's what this is all about. It is all the fulfillment of the most stressful time in human history, known as Jacob's trouble. All right, a time like never before. Okay, 2nd Ezra talks about, he He says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? You know? So, the Lord said he's going to bring those troubles, but he's going to deliver us from the same. You know what I mean? So we know this is going to be very devastating according to biblical prophecy. It says a time like never before. When you go into the time of the Greeks, because Esau been making war for all these years. You know, the time of the Greeks kind of reminds me of Revelation 6 and 4. You know, that they would take peace out of the earth. And that's what it started really, when the Greeks came into power, their whole mindset was this whole pan-Hellenism bullshit with Alexander. And it tells you in First Maccabees that the earth was quiet before him. You know, and then of course, when he had his divisions of his lands, you know, he had his people take over, his 4 generals, you know, Seleucus, Ptolemy, was it Cassander, and Lysimachus, right? And they parted his kingdom 4 ways, right? The scripture says that what evils begin to grow upon the face of the earth. Evil means bad time, right? Because it was a bad time for the earth. Once the Greeks came in, it was just a whole lot of just bullshit. Edomites, you know, Edomite rulership took peace out of the earth. All right, and then it passed down to the Romans. Look what they did with Vespasian and them with 70 AD. That was violent, you know. So the Greeks, you had Antiochus, you know, Ptolemy, and then the Romans, you had Vespasian and them, you know, and now you have America, you know, the third leg or the second leg of the Roman Empire, you know, coming into doing her thing, you know. So now, you know, they want to take it a step further. All right, you will own nothing and you be happy, you know, having the sword to kill one another. All right, they trying to set up World War III now. You know, the three world wars was them countries going against each other. You know, and now they want to do it again, which is going to be the end of it. All right, no more BS. Stay smart, right? Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna get this last precept here. Hello. What you doing? I'm gonna get this last precept here and then close it out. All right. There was this precept I was gonna go to. All right, come on. Let's see. All right, this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 33. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. All right, so when you start seeing all these things coming to pass, and then when I say these things, all the things that we talked about in terms of the future, martial law, civil unrest, you know, governments against their people, people against people, you know, cannibalism, like it's just bloodshed everywhere. All these things, hunger, you know, stress, violence, you know, it's going to be just a terrible, terrible time that we're about to enter into, the time of evil. Okay, and only evil is come, right? Pertaining to Ezekiel the 7th chapter. You know, and evil meaning what? Ev and ill, or a bad time. So we are entering into that evil time. Okay, and Americans are not ready. All right, they're not ready. And this is when the Lord is going to execute His judgment upon you wicked ass niggas. All right, you made fun, you mocked the Lord, but you ain't mocking the Lord, you're mocking yourself. All right, so yeah, that time is here. All right, so we'll see what's gonna happen in the next couple of weeks. You know, I'm definitely gonna be tuned in to this whole strike situation. You know, and Lord willing, you know, we overcome the storm. All right, we overcome the storm, man. All right, glorify Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah. All right, so anyway, I'm leaving it up there. You know, the MOTB is coming out fast. Forgot to mention that. How this is all going to lead straight to it. You know, because scarcity is going to bring desperation. And with desperation, that could cause a crisis right there. And with a crisis big enough, they'll get the people exactly where they want them.
right, so we could see this thing pop out in the next 6 to 8 months. Who knows? Right? Who knows? But we'll see. May Yahweh Shem Yahushua keep speeding up the days. All right, because Romans 13:11. All right, our salvation is nearer than what we believed. So call on Yahweh Shem Yahushua for that. Well, I'm gonna end it off there. Lord willing, you are edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Kadash. The water Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Until next time, shalom to the elect.